Okay, so hello. Good morning again, EBM 12 and DAS 12. So for today, we're going to discuss chapter 2 and then lesson 1 of applied economics, which is the law of supply and demand. Okay, so it says here the global pandemic changed the pattern of the global supply chains. So yon parang naging malaking effect ng pandemic no sa naging galaw ng supply and demand ng ng economy. So what do you think the cause of the changes in prices and supply? So I think one of the causes is yung iba kasi nawala ng work, and at the same time iba na yung naging demand ngayon dahil iba na yung needs ng mga tao. So I think those are the causes of these changes. Okay, so our learning competency for this lesson is to explain the law of supply and demand and how equilibrium price and quantity are determined. And another one is we should be able to identify and differentiate the different types of market system. And then differentiate between quantity demanded and demand, and supplied and supply. Create a demand and supply schedule, and then construct a demand and supply curve. Explain how market equilibrium is achieved. Okay, so we can have this activity. I think you can just type in the chat box. So in this activity, let us put ourselves in the shoes of both buyer and seller. And then we just choose which item are we going to buy or sell. So for the first round, we should act as the buyer. So, ayan, you can just, this one, yung left side, letter A, and then yung right side, letter B. So, just type in the chat box kung ano yung pipiliin natin. Okay, so for this one, sa bag, ano yung pipiliin natin? A or B? Okay, so most of you choose letter B. I think you are considering the price. Next one, letter A or letter B? Okay. Okay, so nahati tayo, no? Some of you considered letter A and then some of you considered letter B. So I guess for the letter A, you consider the style and then the quality. While the other one, the letter B, you consider the price. Both daw. So S kasi consider both. So she can buy both A and B. Okay? So the next one, letter A or letter B? Okay? So I think for me, I'll choose also the letter B because it's the style. No? And then, yeah, for the letter A, I think stylish din naman siya, no? But cheaper one. Next one. Ano yung i-consider natin sa dalawa? Letter A or letter B? Wow. Okay, no? So mahilig tayo sa mura, no? Okay. At least some of you consider letter A. I think you are looking for the quality. Oh, this can also be the brand also, but wala naman siyang brand, no? Okay, next one. Okay, so other one is letter A. Most of you is letter A. So I think the color has its say. So I think most of you consider the price. And then for the sellers naman, we can act as the seller. Ano naman yung ibebenta natin? Okay? This one, ano yung kino-consider yung ibenta? No, letter A pa din, no? Kasi it's expensive. Parang most likely, mas malaki yung profit, no? If in case. Next one. And letter A naman. Okay, so yeah, we consider the price. Kasi the higher, no? So, next one, for this one, letter A or letter B? Okay. Some of you is letter A, no? Kasi you can just, parang pag mas mura kasi mas madali ding ibenta, di ba? Okay, for this one, okay, so some are letter B and some are letter A. And for this one, okay, letter B. Ayan, so in the first round, no, sa buyer, as a buyer, parang to sum it all, no, parang we consider the price, no? Am I right? You consider the price, no, in choosing what to buy. And then the second round, we also consider the price. The expensive one, parang mas pinipili natin ibenta, no? But because parang mas malaki yung balik, no? I think that's how you think. Okay, so what is the difference between the choices you made as a buyer and a seller? So as a buyer, no, parang to sum it all, we chose the cheaper one. And then for the seller, we all chose the expensive one. So why is there a need to learn fundamental economic concept? So yeah, this one, no, again, no, for the principles of marketing, pag sinabi natin market, tao, but in applied economics, when we say market, this is where buyers and sellers meet to exchange goods and services. Yeah, so the dynamics of the market depends on how the government manage it. So meron ding effect yung government, no, kung ano yung magiging tawag dito, magiging kalalabasan, no, ng economy natin. So they can put the SRP, or they can avoid or allow some products, no, to be sold. So two classifications, pre-market economy and then command economy. So I think you have already idea, no, in just their name. So when we say free market economy, also known as capitalism, most likely sa mga Chinese, adopts a laissez-faire approach with limited government intervention. Pag we say free market economy, sila yung mga businessman, sila yung may desisyon kung ano ba yung mga bagay na ibebenta nila. Kung ano ba yung mga gusto nilang ibenta or i-offer na service, no? So they have the decision. Yeah. Economic players are driven by self-interest. Okay, while command economy, known as socialism or communism. So the best example here is the North Korea. Am I right? No, communism, the best example talaga dito is yung North Korea. So the government owns most properties and resources and economic decisions are made through the Central Economic Plan. So as you can see, siguro kung iba sa inyo nakanood na um, ng documentary about North Korea. So most likely, lahat ng mga ino-offer niya ng service doon, chino-check muna nung parang nila, head nila, si Kim Jong-un. Ayun. So, kunyari like yung hairstyle, di ba? Parang meron na silang specific na hairstyle na dapat nilang i-offer or not, mako-close yung business nila. So, I think we are also familiar with, Marcos, which is parang during the martial law, diba, parang halos lahat din ng properties, meron siyang share doon. And then, parang limited lang ata yung service and products na i-offer dapat ng business. Okay, next. Yan. Let's talk about the law of demand. So, as price increase, quantity demand decreases. Conversely, as price decreases, quantity demand increases. So, it is, parang itong law of demand, buyers, point of view, no? As price increases daw, yung quantity demand nagde-decrease. Habang tumataas yung presyo ng isang bagay, parang lumiliit yung demand. Okay? And then pag mas nagiging mura or lumiliit yung presyo, mas dumadami yung demand ng product na yon. Okay, so keeping factors constant or at ceteris paribus, buyers will purchase more at lower prices and less at higher prices. So without considering the quality, the brand, or anything, kumbaga yung price lang itself, para most of the buyers will always choose the cheaper one. Okay? So these are the equation. So QD is quantity demand is equal to A, which is the non-price factors, minus B, which is the slope of the demand curve, and open parentheses P for the price, close parentheses. Okay, QD is equal to A minus B multiplied by P. Okay, so when we say quantity demand, ayan, for the QD, for the quantity demanded, it is the number of units that a buyer is willing to purchase at any given price. Okay, so yung willingness to buy that unit. While demand, it is the set of all quantities demanded at different price levels. Is quantity demanded the same as demand? Why or why not? Okay. So for example, one is a school principal who plans to purchase notepads. His willingness and capacity to buy chairs can be described by the equation. QD is equal to 150 minus 3P. Okay. So create a demand schedule and demand curve where the average price of a notepad is at 20. So 22. 20, 30, and 40. Kumbaga parang parang sa business math ito yung variable dependent na price. Anyway. Next, ayan, gagawa tayo ng schedule, if the notepad is 20, and then 30, and then 40. So we'll see the quantity demanded. Okay, so for the first one, yung 20 muna. Okay, 20 daw yung presyo nung notebook. Notebook ba yun? O notepad pala, notepad. So 150 is equal to 3P, 150 is equal to 3 times 20, 150 minus 60 equals 90. So for the 20 pesos na notepad, meron daw tayong quantity demanded na 90. For the next one naman, repeat step 1 lang, and then for the 30 and 40. So for the 30, 100, 3 times 30, 190, 115, minus 90, 60. And then for the 40, 3 times 40, 120, 150, minus 120, 30. So as you can see, no, as the price go higher, lumiliit yung quantity demanded natin. Okay, so to sum up, yan, here, ito yung example ng schedule. Yan. For the price ng 20, 90 yung quantity demand, and then 30, 60 yung quantity demanded, 40, naging 30 na lang yung quantity demanded. Yan. As you can see, no, as the price go higher, or as the price increase, yung quantity demand natin nagde-decrease. Okay, so to plot it in the graph, ayan, so ito yung price at ito naman yung quantity demanded. So for example, 40 yung presyo ng price. So yung demand nun ay nasa 30. Okay? Marunong ba tayong magbasa ng graph? I think we all can read graph. Okay? Next naman, 30 daw yung price. 30 yung price, so yung quantity demand is 60. And then for the last one, 20 yung price, so yung quantity demand is 90. Okay, nag-gets naman natin yung graph. Just say yes, or you can just type in the box, in our chat box if yes, okay? So yun, we can read the graph, or we can do the graph using these numbers. Okay, so next, Nita loves fashion. Her willingness and capacity to buy clothes can be described by the equation. So QD is equal to 80 minus P. Okay, so create a demand schedule. Okay, and a demand curve where the average price of clothing is at 25, 35, and 45. So, yung kanina, diba, ano naman siya? Quantity demand schedule. For now, demand schedule naman tayo. So, meron tayong kakaibang kakaibang formula. Okay? So, as you can see, nawala dito yung 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 isang number dito na 3, yung quantity. Okay? So, alam mo na, nag-gets nyo na kung ano yung pagkakaiba ng quantity demanded sa demand. Okay? So, for the formula, yung quantity demand, merong number pa dito. Yan, yung parang may letter, kumbaga pag sa equation natin sa math, M, N, P. No? For the demand naman, P lang talaga siya. Okay? So now we have the following price, like 25, 35, and then 45. Okay, so I guess we already can compute this one. So 80 minus 25, so 45 for the quantity. 55. 55. And then for this one, 45. And then 35. Tama ba? Yan. Okay? Tama ba yung compute ko? 80 minus 25, 55, 45, and then 35. Okay? Yan. So as price increases, the quantity supplied increases as well. So consequently, as price decreases, the quantity supplied decreases. Yan, nasa supply na pala tayo. Ito, you can just create your own demand schedule for this one. Wala siyang pinakita. Yan, next one naman, sa supply naman tayo. Ito naman, ang point of view naman nito ay yung mga seller naman natin. Okay, so as price increase daw, yung quantity supplied increases. So, di ba kanina, yung pinapili ko kayo kung ano yung mga gusto nyong ibenta, most of you, binibenta, ang gusto nyong ibenta, yung malaki yung presyo. Okay, tama, am I right, no? parang not considering the quality, not considering the brand, or not considering anything else, or the preferences of the consumer or the customer, we always choose the expensive one when we want to sell those products. Okay? So for this one, law of supply, ito, ang point of view naman ito, yung, again, yung mga seller natin. So it says here, as price increase, quantity supplied increases. Okay? Consequently, as price decrease, quantity supplied decreases. So yung habang tumataas yung presyo ng isang product, yung willingness natin i-supply yon or ibenta yon mas tumataas din. Okay? Gets ba? Okay? Nagets ba natin? Okay, so as you can see, yung graph ng supply, paano siya, yung slope niya to the right. Yung sa demand naman, law of demand, yung curve niya, pa-left naman. Yung slope niya pa-left. Okay? Yan. So again, no, for the law of supply, habang tumataas ang presyo, mas tumataas din yung number ng gusto natin i-supply. Okay? Okay. Driven by profit, suppliers will sell more with higher prices and less at lower prices. Okay, so not considering the quality, the brand, or anything else, we always choose the expensive one. Ayun yung behavior ng tawag dito, ng environment or the economy. Okay? Next, ito naman yung equation ng supply. Okay? So QS is equal to A plus B is it open parenthesis P close parenthesis. Yan. So as you can see, no, yung difference nila excuse me. And as you can see, yung supply, minus siya dito. I mean, yung demand plus, minus siya dito. Yung supply naman plus. Okay? So again, no, yung difference sa equation nila, yung demand minus, yung supply plus. Okay? Pero halos same lang din yun. Okay? So pag convert natin siya sa equation din sa, anong subject kaya yun sa math? Geometry ata yun. Yung merong mga, or geometry ata yun, yung may mga parang A plus B parenthesis Y. X is equal to A plus B. Ewan ko. Basta yun. Ganun. Again, pag demand minus to, pag supply plus. Okay? So QS is the quantity, dapat supplied to, quantity supplied. And then A is for the non-price factors. B is equal to the slope of the supply curve. And then P is for the price. So again, yung QS dito dapat quantity supplied. So when we say quantity supplied, it is the number of units that a seller is willing to produce or to supply at any given price. Yung supply naman, it is the set of all quantities supplied at given price levels. Okay, so why does the supply curve go up? Okay, so yeah, we have here the problem. We have here the problem. Ray is a friend of Juan and he sells notepads. His willingness and capacity to sell notepads can be described by the equation QS is equal to 150 plus 2P. So let's create the supply schedule and supply curve where the average price of the notepad is 20, 30, 40. Okay, so for the solution, applying the rule of substitution. So for QS, using the supply functions. So we have here the following, 20, 30, and 40. So first, let's compute the 20. Okay, so 2 multiplied by 20, 40, plus 159. Next one, yung 30 and 40 din naman. Okay? So 150 plus 2 times 30, 60 plus 150, 210. And then 40 times 2, 80 plus 150, 230. So as you can see or as you can notice, no, parang as the price increase, the quantity supplied increases as well. Okay, so 190 to 210 and then 230. Okay, so if we're going to plot the points in the graph and then connect the graphs, we'll see here na yung slope niya pa-right. Okay, so let's read the graph, no? So ito yung price again and then yung quantity supplied. So next, yung price daw ng 20, ayan, ang willingness or yung capacity lang, yung willingness and capacity niya to produce such product is only 190. Okay? The next one, yung pag ibebenta naman daw siya ng 30, ayan, pag 30 daw yung presyo ng ibebenta niya. So, yung willingness and yung capacity niya to produce such product ay 210. And then, syempre, pag 40 pesos yun or mas malaki, no? Ayan, yung willingness niya to produce such product is 230. Okay? So, syempre, as for the viewpoint of view of the seller, syempre, mas mas gusto nating ibenta at a higher price yung isang product. Ayan. So, for the demand schedule naman, no, you can do this on your own. Anna is a garment manufacturer. Her willingness and capacity to supply clothes can be described by the equation QS is equal to 65 plus 4P. Ayan. Create a supply schedule. Dapat pala na itong 4. Dapat P lang yun. Anyway, parang same pa rin naman silang pa-up eh. Yan, same din sa demand schedule. Same lang din pa down din yun. Or pa left yung curve. Okay, gets na natin yung law of supply and demand. Yeah, I guess we can move on na to market equilibrium. So for the market equilibrium, it is the point where the quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied. Okay? So when we're going back to business math, ito yung parang break-even. Okay? So yung quantity daw ng demanded ay equals dun sa quantity supplied. Kumbaga yung buyers, yung number ng unit na dinademand nila is equal to doon sa capacity and willingness na isupply ng seller. Okay, gets? Kumbaga sa business math, if you remember or if you can remember, ito yung break-even point na tinatawag. The price for the quantity demanded is equal to the quantity supplied. Is called the equilibrium price or the market clearing price. Okay, so again, the price for the quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied is called the equilibrium price. Okay, so kunyari, ang pinag-uusapan dito ay yung price. Okay, so di ba, merong certain price na willing kang bilhin and at the same time, sa point of view naman ng seller, willing kang i-produce. No? So, pag nag-meet yung dalawang point na yon, nag-cross sila, no? Pag gumawa ka pag pinalat mo sila, tapos nag-cross yun, yung point na yun, ayun yung equilibrium price or market clearing price. Okay, so yan, we can have this activity. Who is responsible for the regulating markets? You can just type in the chat box. So as your self-review. Okay, that's right, government. Next, it is where buyers and sellers meet to exchange goods and services. Okay, that's right, market. Next, it is the ability and willingness of the buyer to purchase goods and services. Okay, ability and willingness of buyers to purchase goods and services. Kaya ano nga ulit yun? Okay, Siret? Okay, that's right. Quantity demanded. Next, it is the ability and willingness of sellers to produce goods and services. Yeah, that's right. Quantity supplied. Next, it describes the inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. Inverse relationship between the price and quantity demanded. Tama ba? Law of demand. Okay, that's right. Inverse relationship of the price and quantity demanded. Okay, that's right. Law of demand. So, to sum it up, yeah, the two market system is the free market or the capitalism, wherein the sellers have their right to decide no kung what to sell, and then the command economy and or communism or socialism, the socialism, yung government yung merong decision, no, or may property doon sa mga market na yun. Many countries adopt a mixed market system where it adopts both capitalist and socialist ideas. I think the Philippines is a mixed market system wherein parang, pero not really, parang 50-50, no? Yan. So, kailangan talaga 50-50 kasi baka pag nag-free market lang tayo, the business will abuse us, no? For example, tataasan na lang nila ng tataasan yung presyo nung mga goods, di ba? So, parang disadvantage naman sa atin yun. So, papasok ang government, no, to create or parang to establish the SRP na tinatawag. Okay, that's one of the example. Okay, the law of supply states that a price increases, quantity supplied increases. As price decreases, the quantity supplied decreases. So vice versa with the demand, pag nag-increase in price, yung quantity demanded nag-decrease. Ayan, so quantity demanded and quantity supplied reflects buyers' willingness and the ability to purchase. Yung seller naman willingness and ability to purchase or to produce goods and services. Market equilibrium is the point where the quantity supplied is equal to quantity demanded. The price at which quantity demanded and quantity supplied are equal is called equilibrium price or market clearing price. Okay, so any question? Any question, guys? Okay, there's none. Okay, so I think we can just discuss this market equilibrium next meeting. Okay, so if there's no question, we can now drop the call. Thank you, everyone. Bye.